Palantir, oh Palantir, do we have a lot to break down in this video, guys. We're going to break down the charts, my thoughts, and everything else in between, and maybe later in the video, we'll break down the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, see what's going on over there. So if y'all find value, smash that like button, make sure to subscribe, and guys, make sure to follow me on X as well at Stocks Talk Stocks, and don't forget to get your free stocks for Moomoo, up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000, using that link down below. Get your stocks, the clock's ticking. We'll talk more about that later. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So it's currently about 1:45 p.m. on the East Coast, and Palantir is down about 7 cents, down 0.4%, and it's at $18.32 right now. So it's not doing much of, I don't want to say much of anything, but it's pretty much consolidating today, not doing really anything crazy. But earlier in the day, we did take out the lows from yesterday, and we actually hit under $18 per share, which is not a good sign for the bulls in the very short term. You guys can see here, we hit 1796 at about 9:33, so about 2-3 minutes into the session, we hit that point. And yesterday, we didn't go under 18 bucks. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but yesterday we held 18.30 pretty much all day. You guys can see if I extend this to the right, you'll be able to see that. So let me pull up the 5-day, then the intraday again very quickly here, guys. So you can see we dipped under that point this morning, and actually about an hour or 2 hours ago as well. But now we're starting to fight back over $18.30, which we'll see, man. We have about 2 hours left of trading, 2 hours and 15 minutes. We'll see if we do successfully break out of this point, maybe take out the 1850 mark heading into close. That would be very good for the bulls. But right now, we're pretty much just at break even, down 0.5%, and we're waiting for the next direction that we pick, right? Again, we're just consolidating so far today. So do we end up ripping into close and maybe start taking out 1850, start going 1875, maybe higher than that heading into close? Or do we end up failing at 1830? We fail to hold that point, and maybe we start going back down to 17.95, 18 bucks, and maybe even take out that 17.96 low from earlier today. So it's kind of like a wait and approach. It's a wait and see approach right now with Palantir in the very short term. At least for me, I want to see what happens here on the intraday chart. And if I pull up the 5-day chart, let me do that very quickly here, guys. You can see obviously the cliff dump that we had, or the cliff dive, whatever you want to call it, that we had yesterday. The stock was at 20 bucks in the pre-market, then we closed at 1830. That was a massive drop yesterday, guys, of almost 10%, which was not good, obviously, in the short term. But you could argue that the stock needed to sell off, which, I mean, you could easily make that argument. The stock was a little bit overbought. So we sold off yesterday. Looks like so far today, that's continuing here on Tuesday, as again, we took out the lows from yesterday. And here on the 10-day chart, if I pull this up, now you can see we're at a fresh low on the 10-day chart at 1796. Again, we hit that this morning. And on the 1-hour chart, you guys can also see that now, well, actually, this is the 2-hour chart, but the 1-hour chart, there we go. Now you guys can see we're right at the lows on the 1-hour chart. If you guys remember, back in the beginning of November, middle of November, we held about 18 bucks, 17.95, and that's where we hit this morning. And we held it, but I'm not too convinced that we're going to be holding that for long here by the looks of it. We have a death cross on the 1-hour chart. We're under the moving averages, and it looks like we're holding on by a thread at 17.95, 18 bucks. And come on, guys, we have a clear head and shoulders on the 4-hour chart, like I've mentioned time and time again before here on the YouTube channel. Let me show you this right now for those of you guys that maybe didn't see it, maybe you missed the videos, which if you guys are not subscribed, make sure to go do that now. It's free, and I think like 45-50% of you guys are not subscribed. You watch the videos, but you're not subscribed. So if that's you, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any of the content here on YouTube. So look, again, we have that head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and now we're pretty much right at the point where, if this thing gives at 18 bucks, which we covered on the smaller time frames, we could see the right shoulder completely play out here on Palantir on the 4-hour chart, which could get us down towards, I don't want to say 14, 15 bucks. That'd be the worst case scenario, but it's possible. I mean, that's possible, which was the low before the earnings that came out about a month ago, right? But a more realistic situation, in my opinion, would be, all right, maybe we fail at 18 bucks, we fail holding it. All right, maybe at that point we fill the gap down to about 16.80, 17 bucks, which was the high from the end of October right here. Okay, that might be a more realistic situation or scenario, which I'm going to be watching that very closely here moving forward. So keep your eyes on this gap right here. It might fill to the downside, especially if we break under 18 bucks, which as of now, it looks like we are holding that point. So keep it in mind. Keep that in mind. But, it might not last for long. Who knows, guys? So, yeah, at this point, again, we're holding 18, which also happens to be the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So, I mean, it's kind of like the moment of truth here for the bulls, and it all comes down to that intraday chart, like I said in the beginning of this video, right? Do we pick the direction of the upside direction, which would be, okay, we break 1850, we rip into close. Obviously, that'd be very good for the bulls here in the short term. But if we fail at 18, dump into close, take out the lows from this morning, then going back to the 4-hour chart, we might be filling that gap down to 17 bucks, 16.85, and there could be another dollar of downside. At least in my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But that's, kind of how I'm looking at the charts here and what's going through my head in real time. Now, does that mean you guys have to go act on that? Absolutely not. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I can't tell you guys what to do, and you must always do your own research. But again, this is what's going on in my mind, what's going through my head, and I'm making it, I'm putting it here on a video for you guys to do whatever you want to do with it, right? So Palantir pretty much at break even today, in the entire stock market, at least the 3 major indexes are also pretty much at break even. The Nasdaq's up 0.03%. Boo frickin' who. S&P's down 0.1. All right. Crimea River. We have the Dow Jones down 0.25%. Nothing much, as the Russell is taking a bit of a beating, down 1.3%. Let me pull up SPY quickly and show you what's going on here. Okay, it looks like we're still getting selling pressure at about 455, 460, like we have been over the past couple of days here. So that's still the way it has been, selling pressure at 455, 460, and triple Q. If I pull that up, you guys can see it looks like we're still arguably going to see more downside, maybe to 375, 380, right by that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. You could easily make that argument by looking here on this time frame. And the Russell now, guys, which broke out, and it's still technically breaking out, but it broke out a couple of days ago above that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. This is still obviously breaking out, but we're seeing a bit of a retracement in the overall breakout, which of course is healthy, nothing out of the ordinary here. And I'd like to see if it does maybe recover or see a rally, not necessarily recover, but see a continuation in the rally, maybe in the lower mid 1800s is where buyers come back in on the Russell. And the Dow Jones here, guys, is at highs. You guys probably know that on the 4-hour chart, on the yearly chart, and we're almost at all-time highs, which were hit back about 2 years ago, where we hit 36,950. We're about 800 points, 850 points away from that point. So we're pretty close to all-time highs on the Dow. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Like I said, a lot of you guys are not subscribed. I don't know why you're not subscribed. So make sure to do that and follow me on X at Stocks Talk Stocks. All of that is free, and you might as well get your stocks for Moo. Once you open up your account and fund it with at least $100, using that link down below, you get 5 stocks, each up to $2,000. And if you fund your account at least $1,000 on top of those 5 stocks, you get 10 more stocks, each of those up to $2,000 as well, totaling 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. So get on it, guys. Use that link down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next video.